Good day, dear friends. Pleased to welcome you to the Dr. Savkina channel. Today I will try to answer the question whether all patients with a high level of so-called bad cholesterol, speaking in medical language low-density lipoproteins, need to constantly, for life, take statins. The thing is that nowadays some scientists are even questioning the intake of statins. For example, a group of scientists from Sweden, Italy, France and Japan came to the conclusion about the absence of a link between a high level of low-density lipoproteins, so-called bad cholesterol, and the development of cardiovascular diseases. Moreover, observing patients with a high level of bad cholesterol, scientists came to the conclusion that they live longer than others. To this day, it is accepted to believe that the concept of low bad cholesterol does not exist. The lower it is, the better. Not so long ago, the target level of low-density lipoproteins was considered to be 1.8. It was lowered to 1.4, and even more harshly. The question arises on its own. By lowering the level of so-called bad cholesterol, we simultaneously reduce the total cholesterol. And we really need it for the construction of cell membranes, for the synthesis of hormones, and for many other things. The body of each of us is a finely balanced system. By artificially lowering the figures of any indicator, we are sacrificing something else. We very often discuss the problem of high cholesterol with you, and what, actually speaking, can happen if we do not pay attention to the problem of low cholesterol in time. For women of childbearing age, problems with menstruation and infertility can arise. Osteoporosis will progress with the possible outcome of developing bone fractures. Against the background of low cholesterol numbers, there is a possibility of developing diabetes, thyroid pathology, and chronic fatigue syndrome. And what is particularly unpleasant, the risk of developing hemorrhagic strokes increases. It's hard to predict what will develop in whom. Where it's thin is where it is. With low cholesterol, serotonin receptors, in other words, the hormone of good mood, cannot function properly. And from here, depression unexpectedly creeps in. Too low cholesterol levels lead to the development of mental disorders and, in particular, to suicide. Incontrovertible statistics confirm the fact that individuals who constantly take high doses of cholesterol-lowering drugs die more often from pathologies and causes not related to the cardiovascular system. These are unfortunate cases, hemorrhagic strokes, certain types of cancer, as well as various autoimmune diseases. Considering all the above, the question arises, does this mean that we can safely consume fatty types of meat, not give up lard? And on the other hand, doctors should reconsider their approaches to prescribing statins? So we have two people in front of us. Both have high cholesterol. Yet one needs treatment and the other does not. Why? Who specifically should not be treated with statins? Drugs that lower cholesterol levels should not be prescribed to patients who do not have excess weight. Speaking in medical terms, the body mass index does not exceed the figure of 29. In the case if there is no diabetes and atherosclerosis, and also the level of so-called bad cholesterol does not exceed 4 whole 90. For people under 65 years old with a pressure level not exceeding 130/80, and for people over 65 years old with arterial pressure figures not exceeding 140/80 METHR. And if there is a high risk of stroke or heart attack, then the level of so-called bad cholesterol should not exceed the mark of 2 whole and 6/10 millimoles. And at the very high risk, this figure is reduced to 1 whole 8/10. It is in these situations that the prescription of statins is justified. Stay healthy, dear friends. And until new meetings,